Bullshit
Bullshit
is an unapologetically raw and real podcast where we tackle life's challenges with real stories, advice, and expert insights. Yes, it is. I'm Chatham. Hello.
You almost sounded like Robin Williams when he was on that show, Mork and Mindy.
Oh.
Nano.
Oh, yes.
I love that show.
It was a great show.
Wonderful show. Today we're talking about Mork and Mindy. No, today we are talking about the bullshit of living in denial of life's struggles. It ain't just a river in Egypt, people. Denial.
Oh, denial.
Denial.
That one needs the...
River in Egypt.
No, I mean...
Denial.
Denial.
Dun-dun-dun. Yeah, there we go.
Dun-dun-dun.
Denial. And we have a special guest. We're going to talk a little bit first, but let me just tell you about our guest. Or should I tell her? No, let's talk first.
We'll introduce. Introductions are
This is all very spontaneous, people.
extremely spontaneous.
Format
Yeah.
of the situation. What you be doing?
I think we did that once, and that was me, and it wasn't well received from the director.
Oh.
didn't like it, did you?
So let's talk about the bullshit of living in denial of life's struggles. And if I may kick us off.
Please go right ahead.
You wanna kick us
something
off?
that I do want to kick you off.
That's
From Very Well Mind, talking about what is denial. Denial is a type of defense mechanism that involves ignoring the reality of a situation to avoid anxiety. Defense mechanisms are strategies that people use to cope with distressing feelings. In the case of denial, it can involve not acknowledging reality or denying the consequences, and I underlined consequences because I think that's huge, of that reality. So, what do you think? Discuss.
All right, what do you think? The denial.
Dawn, discuss.
You know, what you mean like things that are happening in front of your face, and it's just like, I'm not gonna call it out.
Whatever, as the kids would say.
Do they say it like that anymore? I don't know.
I don't know. I do. Screw what the kids think. I say it. But no, the denial in life, really. A lot of times, honestly, I think people be in situations and they do things. And they'll think that it's comfortable for them because that's what they normally do. You know, but, see me on the other hand, oh, Dawn, why you be that way? Well, that's the way I always do. What are you talking about? So I'm just denying your feelings and your how you might feel about the situation. What you think is not important. Okay? And that's disrespectful. But I think a lot of times in life, that's what we do. We're very disrespectful, as far as what your ideas or your, phenomena will be on that situation.
Yeah. So that's kind of like a personal, personal.
Yes.
denial.
Definitely personal denial.
It is.
Or not even wanting to take any type of
Responsibility.
or information from another person to have another visual of how that might look.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
possibly learn something from it. Even if you don't agree with it, you might learn something from it. They might learn something from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
Right. Sometimes we tend to shut down.
Yeah.
Because, that's what I think, and
that's
you're
what it
saying,
is.
and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Your views are not important to Adam.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so that's interesting. That's in terms of views. I think in terms of consequences, the first thing that jumps to my mind, and this might seem like sort of a trivial example, but, somebody rushing into a decision to, let's say, get a dog without thinking about it, without thinking, you're going to have to walk it every day. You're going to, all these things, like not thinking about, just being sort of in denial. Like you're thinking about, I want to have a dog, not really thinking something through. I feel like that
I think that's the number one thing that people do, especially when it comes to adopting pets. Just like, I want that. Or they look online with all those different apps they have showing the kittens and the dogs out there. And then they're like, I want to have one of those. But with that is a vet bill.
Yep.
With that is shots. With that is pet insurance. With that is food. So if you're not earning a lot and that's where your money's going, it's definitely a problem.
Look at the people that marry the wrong people.
That too.
Ooh.
Because
that's a different episode.
That is a completely different episode.
Yeah.
And also, it's funny because having done events in the past, this is really terrible. I wouldn't do this now, but we used to say, the bigger the wedding, the faster the divorce.
Oh, ouch.
And you know why? Because they spent so much fucking money on the wedding, and then they have nothing to buy a house. What, you're going to spend $150,000 on your wedding, and then you're living in an apartment, and you're like, we don't have money for a house. Like, what?
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then I feel like a lot of women made the choice because they thought it would be a better choice to marry that person.
Yes.
And then they're like, wow, everything's not falling into place how I thought it would. So this sucks.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm too old. Let me have to do this before I'm 35.
Or that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's another component to denial too, which is this
there
idea
is.
of cognitive dissonance, where it's like, if I go into a situation thinking, things are going to be a particular way, it's too uncomfortable to sort of accept the fact that it's actually not. So you're in denial. You try to convince yourself, no, this thing is the way I imagined it versus.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about our guest today. We're excited to have Penny with us. And I'm just going to read, I think because our fine director printed this out in 2 size fonts.
In the size that you get in the prescription box.
Paul, I'm an old man. I can't read shit. It's this small. God. Okay. So Penny, she is a grandmother of 8 children, mother of 4, sister to 6 siblings. First marriage after almost 25 years ended in divorce. And recently, 2 months ago, after 22 years, she became a widower. She is cradle Catholic. I'm going to have to ask her what that means. I have no idea. Has a psychology degree. Very interested in that. And broker's license in real estate. I think being a psychologist and being in real estate, there's a lot of overlap in that diagram. And for the last 15 years, she works for the government, helping the public. This sounds somebody who likes to help people.
Yes.
So welcome,
Definitely.
Penny.
Welcome, Penny. Glad to have you on with us.
There we go.
There's our audience.
There it is.
How are you, Penny?
Hi, I'm happy to be here, and I was listening to your conversations. I find that very interesting.
Well, thank you. Interesting is one word for it.
Yeah, really.
But Penny, I'm curious, just first and foremost, what does cradle Catholic mean?
That means that I was born in a home where both parents were Catholics, and I had the faith from day one. So I was immediately baptized, like within a week of my birth, and I did all the blessings that we know in the Catholic Church as sacraments right on time since I was a kid.
Okay. That's interesting. I learned something new today.
So did I. I did not know about cradle Catholic.
Baby craving.
And Penny, you have a psychology degree. Are you or were you ever a practicing therapist? I'm just curious how you applied your psychology degree.
When you're a mother, you immediately become a psychologist.
There you go. Yes.
Love that.
Isn't that the truth?
Our audience agrees.
Absolutely.
Adam.
Mind games all day long.
What?
And it's also mind games with Adam all the time here. We have to constantly figure out how we can psychologically get him to do.
It's also very helpful when you are with your clients that have to make very big life decisions, such as buying a house. And listening to a husband and wife talk about this is also very interesting, and it becomes very handy.
Yeah, so you're sort of like a couples therapist and real estate broker all in one.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about the dog, it's not the same, but it's do you realize what you're getting into?
Yes. Well, and so that's a nice segue to our topic today, which is the bullshit of living in denial of life struggles. What are some of your thoughts on that, Penny?
Well, how much time do we have?
Don't worry, Penny. I'm timing us. Take all the time you want, honey.
You just talk, and we'll cut you off when we need to.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking, do we start on the end or do we start in the beginning? So
wherever you want to start.
Right
Penny.
now, I just became a widower, so I guess I'm going from the end. And that has
Sorry to hear that, by the way.
Look into life. Thank you. That has forced me to look into life in a completely different way. And mind you that I did not have my children like I planned them. Pretty much I was shocked every time I knew I was pregnant. And so I learned to live with those surprises at an early age. But now that my husband passed, it kind of shocked me in a big way, trying to understand how does people live with this kind of pain and this situation that I tried to imagine it, how it was going to be, because my husband wasn't feeling so good. And I thought, okay, one day this is going to happen, but it's nothing compared to when he actually passed.
Yeah.
And so that kind of shock forced me to look into the world in a different way. When I look at the world, I see like everybody is asleep, just like
Mm.
I was.
Wow.
Yeah,
Way
interesting.
to put that.
I mean, I
Wow.
see like how I used to speak to my husband and the arguments that we used to have that were so important, and we both want to be right, and we both want to prove our point, and all of that just went out the window. The only thing that really mattered to me after it happened was, did I tell him I love him? The
Yes.
things that matter.
Right.
And the answer was, I think I missed those.
Wow. That's hard. That's a hard
Yeah.
thing to acknowledge. And that's, that's a tough lesson of sort of not really appreciating something until it's gone.
We live like in a bubble.
Yeah.
Right.
We try to avoid pain in so many areas and the stress that we face every day, that we focus ourselves on maybe shortcuts, trying to just, I'm not going to go talk to my husband right now. I'm just going to go watch my soap opera so I can vent, kind of thing. I'm
Yeah.
not going to eat right. I'm just going to go buy fast food because that's easier. And so I think that we live in a society right now that we are avoiding pain because there's so much of it.
Right.
So,
So much pain.
so much of it, yeah. And so we have fallen into like I do psychology, right?
Hmm.
One of the things that is very interesting to me, I know they criticize the media and all that, but the question is, why do they criticize the media? And the media, I think it's there's some very good reporters and there's some very good people, but there's also something missing there where they make your head turn into desolation, concern, and then they don't really know, never show the picture, the complete picture. And I always believe that each coin has two sides.
Right.
Yes.
So stop showing me the one side only. Let me see the other
Yes.
side and show me complete stories, complete pictures, so I can understand what I'm really seeing and what my options may be.
That is such a good point. And Penny, when you mentioned avoiding pain,
Hmm.
I think about something that we say sometimes to kids or even adults, when they start crying. I'm sure you've heard somebody, like maybe a parent, or maybe you've said this, yourself. I think I've said it before to somebody. They start crying, you say, "Don't cry."
Hmm.
And it's so important. Like we are so afraid of pain, and I think there's this sort of like, oh, let's not look at that. Let's not think about that. Let's But there's something so important to the human experience about not only feeling those horrible feelings, but feeling like we're not alone,
Yeah.
and having somebody else there with you saying, I acknowledge your pain. I'm, not saying like, well, don't, shove that down. Don't cry. I don't want to, you're like bumming me out, but just the opposite, being willing to be there and allow somebody to feel that.
If I understand correctly, I believe you're speaking about balance. And
I think that's a
but
great way to put it.
yeah, I think that balance is one of the key tools that we as humans need to acknowledge. And like, yeah, somebody that is crying, the question will be, is it real, the pain, or is it cause? Did I cause this pain? And
Mm,
did I do something to cause it? Then maybe there's a lesson that I need to observe. And what did I do? Is this pain that I need to endure? Then yeah, go ahead and cry. You know, but
yeah.
I mean, growing up has kind of taken a back place in the car. Growing up used to be the reason to understand all these things, but now it's almost like we don't want to think about it. So growing up is about being able to see and accepting responsibility for your actions, seeing your opportunity, and making some very tough decisions that a lot of people don't want to make these days, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's why sometimes, a lot of times, if I might say, Penny, we don't grow as people because we don't. Number one, you don't want to feel the pain. Sometimes you don't want to make the decisions. You wait for someone else to do it for you, and then you're angry because you never opened your mouth.
Right.
Absolutely. And that you hit it on the nose. You wait for somebody else to make those decisions.
Mm.
I, and this is, forgive me for what I'm going to say, but back
No,
in
no.
the days when the woman became aware that that was taking place, there became the female revolution. Right?
Mm.
Well, I think it's about time for the man to kind of start thinking about this because I have three sons and one daughter. And I totally believe that I don't know why men are afraid to be men lately. I look
Mm.
around and I'm thinking, there's a lot of little boys,
Mm.
Mm.
men, but do they know how great they can be? Did you
Mm.
know what an attractive person they can be when they become men? I
Mm.
don't mean about, you know, think about cowboy. Cowboy was not afraid to get on the horse and think
Mm.
I'm gonna dominate this horse. That's not the woman though. Okay.
Mm.
The horse is
Got you.
life.
Yes.
And
Mm.
Yes.
so to
Yes.
me it's like, why are you so afraid of life? Did you know how
Mm.
good you look on that horse, manning that
Mm.
horse and getting it to where it needs to be? Wow. That's
Mm.
impressive for a woman to see. But a
Mm.
lot of men, for some reason, they're even afraid to stand up and speak of what they really believe or who they really are.
Wow.
And we go into dreams. Um, I look at my grandchildren, and I'm looking at young generations, and I'm thinking people are walking around like they have absolutely no choices,
Mm.
no
Mm.
dreams. Why don't they have dreams? When we were kids, I always thought I was going to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Then I thought I was going to be a PE teacher because I always liked sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy the way I feel when I feel healthy.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And it's not about the way I look, it's the way I feel,
Yes.
Right.
which is
Yes.
my
Very big
drive
So
difference.
much more
looking into
important.
that.
Oh.
But I mean, when I look at a man, I would like
Mm.
for him to feel the same way,
Mm.
to to enjoy who he is, to enjoy what he can do, and not to feel like I don't want to do it. I'm too tired, or however. Um,
Mm.
anyway,
Wow.
but I see
Wow.
my grandchildren, and that's one of the things that is getting my attention. I asked them, "What did you want to be when you grow up?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have
Mm.
a 24-year-old grandson who wanted to become a nurse, was engaged in becoming a nurse, and the next thing I know, he's not interested anymore.
Oh, what changed
Mm.
his mind?
I think it's pain, the effort that it will take to get there.
Oh,
I mean, he's afraid to get two jobs and go to school. He's not married. He doesn't have kids. So get it done.
yeah.
Right.
Look,
It's
look
like
at
now's the
that.
time.
Look
You
at
know,
that
it's in.
star and fight for it.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
none
I
of
love that.
Yeah.
Look at that
it.
star and fight for
Fight
it. That's
for it.
so good.
Mm.
Yeah.
You think the some of the does that come from maybe the parents? I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there.
No, I don't think
Maybe
it's
in the
the
kids?
parents. I
No.
think the
It's
parent.
the
Well, the
boys.
parents. Um, the parent. Well, I'm looking at it like victims kind of a thing of society. I think the parents have
Mm.
fallen into a hole, and I don't want to sound political here,
That's all
but
right. It's all right.
the government has created such life that we can no longer afford one person to go to work and one
Mm.
person to have the option to
Just
stay
stay
home
home.
and raise the
Mm.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That
that is no longer financially there for us. Even
Mm.
no.
people
Right.
that have good degrees, they're looking into these terrible mortgages and these terrible expenses to send their kids to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
person cannot do it.
No,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
And
impossible.
so
I
then
tried.
the parents are victims of those programs. The children then follow that negativity because I hate to say this, but nobody's allowed to raise your children. You as parents, it's your job to raise them.
That's right.
And those values that you need to give, that you need to pass, they belong to you. I believe they are your rights. That's why you have those children.
Mm.
And then here comes the grandparents. The grandparents are not respected anymore. Nobody asks grandparents anything. Grandparents don't know internet. We don't know apps. We are old school. We still look for our paper and our pen. And the kids are like,
Right.
oh, grandma, come on, give me my phone.
So
Yeah.
old.
So
Yeah, that
then-
does happen a lot.
It's interesting, Penny, when you mentioned asking your grandkids, what do they want to be when they grow up? And they say, I don't know. I wonder, I was thinking about this. We grew up without these phones and without these devices.
True.
And there were times, if you're with your friends or if you're in an elevator, or there were these times when we didn't have constant, nonstop entertainment. We had to be alone with ourselves and with our
And thoughts.
And we had to amuse ourselves and make our own fun. But I think more importantly, there was more time for reflection.
There really
You have
was.
time when things are silent, maybe the sound of the crickets, I don't know, but you have time to think about things like, what do I want to be when I grow up?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're constantly, what's the next video? What's the next video? What's the next video? What's
Absolutely.
the next? There's no time for thoughts of who am I? What do I want to do? What do I want to be?
Have you noticed, or do you remember? I don't know how old you are, but for what you're talking.
54. I'm 54.
Okay. So when you were a kid, when you were at home after school, if you were like me, you used to go out there and play with your friends, and you'll be out there going around
For
and
hours.
For hours.
With no adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
alone. What I see right now when I go out, I don't see kids on the street. I
Yeah.
don't see any riding their bikes.
Yeah.
They are not growing. They are all afraid, I don't know. I mean, of being out there. Why are they not out there? Why are they
Yeah.
not growing? What are we doing as society to not let these kids go and roam free and learn what they need to learn? Because I remember there were times that I was out there on the street, and when I came home, I was like, wow, that was rough.
It was a good day, right? You had a good time.
Yeah, I had a full day anyway. Yeah.
That was scary. Wow, I ran like the Dickens home because something scared me. And I would be like,
Right.
Or that too.
But
Yeah.
you lived to tell about it. You survived.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yes.
And so
And they're really. Oh, sorry.
you learn to make decisions and to make safe decisions because nobody's going to be out there holding your hand.
That's it.
That's a big one.
That
It's
is
a really big
Making
one.
decisions. There's not other people saying, now you're going to do this.
And now you're gonna do that.
That's really true.
Right? And they're
Yeah,
not
I
doing
mean,
that right now. So, yeah, our kids are in trouble. But here's the thing. Back on those days, also, we had no internet.
that's right.
Hey, we didn't have all the tools. I think that the options right now are, the question is, what do we have that we can use to make better dreams? They are out there. So instead of picking up the internet and looking to whose movie star has how many children and what they're doing, which would be fun, or what phones are the newest, I would say, what is it that I'm interested on? What is it that I like to do? What is out there for me? And start using the tools that are out there, because before you needed to go to the library and look into this. The libraries are amazing still, and I suggest that you go. Reading books is amazing, but
Oh, it
there's
is.
also a lot of information there that we can use to claim our dreams back.
Oh, that's so
like that.
good,
That's
Penny.
right.
To claim our dreams back. I love that. Maybe we're going to rename the episode.
Claim our dreams
Claim
back.
your
Yeah, and this
dreams back.
reminds me, like, hardly anybody practices it, but we had a next door neighbor, in this day and age, if you can believe it, who has never let his daughter stay inside. She would say, "Go outside,"
Yeah.
and that was that. And she would just listen to him, okay, and then she would just go outside.
She had a deep voice.
She sure did.
You know
but
what?
her,
Oh, I'm sorry.
there
You know
was
what I also want to claim back?
what's
Please.
that?
Falling in love the right way.
Oh,
The right way.
falling in love.
You know,
I
it's
mean,
interesting you say
yeah.
that, Penny. Everybody I ever met, I met because I was in school with them.
Oh wow, that's how I met mine too.
Everybody I ever met who I dated it was school related. Yeah.
It's
Did
funny.
you love them?
Ultimately, that's what happened
Yeah,
to
I
me
loved a
too.
lot of
You loved
people, Don.
everybody that you dated? She's talking about love.
I'm talking
Like
about
the
there's a lot of love in here, Don.
Everybody you dated,
There's
you
a
loved.
lot of love. No, I didn't love everybody I dated, but I've loved a lot of my girlfriends.
Oh.
And you know who I'm talking about.
And I know who he's talking about.
Right?
He and I went to high school
We went to
together.
high school together, so I know exactly who he was dating.
We don't know who he was
Yeah,
dating.
when you
Oh,
fall
I-
in love, it's like you're on a dream stage.
Yeah.
You
Ah,
are on
totally.
the zone and you believe in such amazing things. I
True.
don't think the people in the world right now really know what love is and
Oh,
what
wow.
falling in
Mhm.
love is. They're
Mm.
looking for somebody that they can be with. They're looking for somebody that is a good component to their lives.
Why that's why they fail the marriages, especially the
And they're
expensive
not,
ones.
but they're not looking for, I have all this love in my heart and I want somebody to receive it. Who is this person that's going to receive it? And you have to
Oh,
have the
that's so
courage to love.
beautiful.
You know what
It
is really
is.
You
funny?
do.
When I divorced my ex-husband, that's when I met this new person that just passed. And my daughter back on those days, she was, I think, 18. And I was telling her, well, I don't know. I mean, this guy just came too soon. I'm getting divorced and here and I like him, but I don't think it's the right time. Maybe I should just pass. And she goes, okay, mom, just let me tell you this. If you think that love is going to come on your time, you're
Mm.
ready. I think you are not getting the point. It's not going to come when you're ready. It's going to come when it comes.
When
Now,
it comes.
the question here is, have you lost the courage to love?
Wow.
Wow. Your
That's
daughter sounds
beautiful.
very wise.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's some very
She had a
wise
good
words.
seed.
That was some very good wise
She had
words.
a
Yeah.
good seed.
Yes. And I was like, oh, well, okay. And so it challenged me because I wanted to cover myself under my pain, under my divorce.
Yeah.
I just lost my home and all that. And then here it is. It's too soon. But then here I am, you know, and I'm
Found
facing that
love.
door again, except this
Mm.
time it's a little darker. I'm not really sure. I'm seeing the world a little bit more from a naked point where all I see is actions and consequences, before
Mm.
and afters. And I'm
Mm.
wondering,
Mhm.
do I really want to go again on the before and after? I'm not really sure.
Wow.
I think I'm going to
Oh.
the chicken door.
Yeah, that's such an interesting contrast. You know, that
Before and
version that you just outlined sounds very cold.
Yeah.
You know, at first you're talking about romantic love, which sounds so warm.
Mm,
That, you know, chicken door, that's kind of poetic the way you say it. You
Right.
know, on the one hand, feels safe maybe, you know, but on the other hand, it feels cold in a way.
I have to make a decision.
Mm.
Right now, it's only been 2 months. There's no way that I know. I only have what I know, what I lived, what I see, and what is before me that I cannot see. So
Yeah.
Right.
I know
Mm.
that I'm not ready to make a decision yet because
Hmm.
I like to say I'm courageous And I would like to say that I rather believe my life that it will be worth it than kind of just hide under a rock and just kind of wait the day.
Right.
Yeah. Well, when you say hide under a rock, it makes me think of what you were saying before about people sort of living their lives on autopilot, sort of
Asleep and on
not awake.
autopilot. Yeah.
Yes.
Not awake.
Yeah, because there is that choice. I mean, we can choose to just close our doors and have our little world and not engage. We can do that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of us do.
Oh, a lot of people are
We really
hermits.
do. I
Yeah.
mean, even like when you used to work, you come home from work, you go to the store, you come up, you close your door. That's it. I just remember when we used to go to your neighbor's house, you sit, you talk, so on and so
Chat
on.
for a
And I'm
bit.
guilty. Like sometimes when I come in and I'm working on my business, whatever, I say, "Well, who's this? I ain't got no time to talk to you." Okay, and then you're going about your business. I mean,
Right.
sometimes it's business, and then sometimes, but you have to be open, to yourself and to be friendly again and to get to know your neighbors, get to know your people.
Put yourself out there, basically. Because,
Yes.
not putting yourself out there is the same as going to like, let's just say, I don't know if this is a good example, but on a dating site, if you want to really if you really want to start dating and there's no pictures up on that dating site, it's because, I mean, like, how terrible is that? It's like, wait a minute.
Okay.
And that's like the top way to meet people right now outside of just going to a bar or some place.
Yeah.
But the biggest video library that you can meet someone in is online. But what if those people who's right for you isn't there, or like decides not to show up or be there, or missed because they're just in their little shell.
Coop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have a routine that makes them thrive, and then something kind of hits them over the head and is like, nope, this is coming in
Yeah.
because you're not doing it. But that doesn't always happen either. You could die alone.
I think a lot of people are living on there. They're there to be this, do that, and I don't believe that they're really thinking on the long picture, on the real picture. And I think it's almost like, can I do this? Yes, I can. So I dare myself to do it. They do it. They live in a way that they believe that it's okay because they can do it, but they're not really thinking things straight the way I see it. I think that one of the things that I learned in life is everything has a price. Nothing is just, it happens. I mean, you eat a chocolate, it's going to go somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You tell somebody
Consequences.
you love them, something's going to happen. You choose to ignore somebody, that too, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Everything, it's, but the one thing that I think we're missing the big picture is I believe that we are part of each other. I think all of us are somehow connected.
Yeah, I believe you.
And I was reading, I do psychology, okay? So I was reading that our brain doesn't have the ability to live in the future or in the past. It only lives on the present. And with that, that is why if you wanted to test it, I mean, you can see a movie for 20 times and you end up crying each time because you're bringing that to the present.
Right.
When we were watching The Towers, that terrible moment, for years, we will stop and it will happen again and again and again each time because our brain lives on the present.
Yeah.
So how do we balance that? Well, our heart. Our heart will balance that.
That's beautiful.
And our souls. I mean, they all have a function. And then we have each other and we all connect. Like when you see a child cry, it may not be your child, but you feel it.
Yes.
That connection.
Sure.
Yes.
When you see somebody that is happy, you may not know them. And I mean, I look at the movie stars, like I was thinking maybe, okay, I'm just gonna name somebody, Mel Gibson, for instance. He doesn't even know who I am, but I love that guy. And Like, remember when Robin Williams passed? You know,
Yes.
we the Catholic people, we were going to what is called an open door. We were doing plenary indulgence, which we could save the soul. My daughter actually went and did Robin Williams' soul. I didn't know who she was, but there was somebody here that felt that connection and pray for his soul.
Yeah, I think he touched a lot of people.
Oh yeah, he did.
So we are all connected.
Connected,
And we are
100%.
all part of each other, and we would like to avoid and think that we're not.
Mm.
We would like to think, oh, no, that's me. I only care about me. I'm doing fine, and the rest of us, well, to each their own. And yeah, there's that, because each of us are responsible for ourselves.
For each other's.
That,
Yeah.
that is definitely the case. We
Right.
are responsible for ourselves, but we share with each other.
Oh, yes. Well, and I feel like without other people, I almost don't exist.
Right.
Right?
You know?
No, it's true.
Yeah.
I can't even watch a movie with Tom Hanks on that island because he's all by himself except for with a volleyball, which drives me insane. And I'm just like, I can't watch this insanity. I just can't watch one single person myself. It's crazy. And then he did another one like that, which I actually liked the film, but he was all by himself in a post-apocalyptic world. I forgot the name of it. And there was a dog, and his mission was to keep this dog alive. But I'm thinking, why? No one's there to take care of him and feed him and do all this stuff. Why does he want to live in this crappy world? You know, like there's no connection.
Yeah.
So he trained a robot to take care of the dog into the future. So it was just the robot and the dog, and I'm like,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to send that film down the river only because I was like, damn it, that's just by himself. I mean, you know, and that connection that I have even to animals, which I do, like poor dog, but you know, off topic. But connection being the key there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Connection is the key. And I mean, I don't share this very often. I actually haven't shared this for many, many, many years, but I did have the opportunity to die when I have my last son. And I did happen to go on the other side.
Oh, wow.
So, and there's a lot of people that has had that experience.
Yes.
For me, what that means is I don't need faith to tell me that there's another world. I've been there.
Wow.
That's
wow.
deep.
And what, if I may ask, was that like that experience?
It could be actually, it was really great when it happened because I had a body, and that body was glorious, and the peace that it felt is not possible to feel it physically, biologically in this body. It's just not possible.
Right.
Wow.
It was something beyond understanding. So when I came back, it took me about 7 years to make myself at home here again, because this really was just not where I wanted to be.
Wow. 7 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. And, the best news you could give me was you're going to die.
Oh God.
Yes.
That's what everyone's trying to avoid.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
it's anytime. Let's just do it. Just show me the
That's
way.
another that's another episode.
That is.
That's a bunch of episodes.
That's not the first time I heard that.
Yeah, no. Me neither.
But now it's been about 30 years, somewhere there, and now I'm back to being human. Yeah, now it's
back to being human again.
Wow.
That's a heavy conversation.
It is.
Yeah.
But that was a great conversation, though. It was.
But I mean, the connection that I'm glad to talk about. There is. This is not it. The world that we know it as it is. It's a beautiful experience, and it's a place to grow. It's a place to love. It's a place to live. It's a place to learn.
Yeah. Don't forget eat. It's a place to eat.
Place to eat.
Absolutely.
All that.
Of course, eat, but you ain't eating when you get to the other side, so you might as well eat while you're here.
Don't get me going on that one, Jim.
Okay, Adam, eat all the can now.
Eating, yay!
He was just in Italy, so this is why.
Yeah, all of those. I mean, yeah, by all means. But there is something that is all those moments that we love, that we could hold on forever. They're on the other side waiting for us. And
That's a lovely thought.
It
That
is
a really lovely thought.
Hashtag facts.
for me, was a reality.
Penny.
Yeah. And I can only look at people that have not yet experienced that, and I believe that, yeah, eye has not seen, and ear
Ears
has not
have
heard
not heard.
what is
Yeah.
waiting on the other side. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Be
Child, we need another conversation. We need
Yeah.
a show just on that alone. That's
I
why
know,
I'm so
right?
quiet. 'Cause
exactly.
You're bringing
Yeah.
me into my zone.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was
but
a
for me, as a cradle Catholic, yeah, I was given the
Mm.
faith. But
Mm,
with all my experiences,
mm,
and even that, I got to confirm what was handed over to me.
mm,
mm,
And so I feel more responsibility being myself and living my life because of what has given to me, what I
mm,
experienced. So
mm,
yeah, you guys have a little bit better
mm.
excuse. Hey, no, well, I don't know.
Wow.
Ay.
I don't know,
Well,
so whatever. That whatever.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Ignorance is bliss.
ignorance
Sometimes
is
they
bliss.
say.
Yes.
Yes,
Wow.
but if I may, yeah, just in the same way that I see that there might be a beautiful place to go, just like I went, I believe the opposite will be just as devastating. The
Mm,
possibility of it. All I know is that we do go on. That's all I know.
yes, we do.
Mm.
But everything we do matters. Everything, that smile, that those decisions we make,
Mm,
that food that we choose to eat,
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah.
and the way we choose to love, all of it matters. Nothing. The only thing that doesn't matter is how big your house is,
mm.
how much money you have
Yeah,
in the bank.
that's right. Don't matter.
What a good
yeah,
point.
really.
Yeah.
And you can't leave with your house
Nope.
anyway.
Nope.
And
I
when
always
you
tell people there's
go,
no banks.
you're not going to get on the other side. Here comes the president of the United States, or here comes
Nothing.
the doctor, or the principal of so school.
Oh yeah, there's
Nothing like
no
that. It's
titles.
gonna be like that. You're
No
gonna be
titles, honey.
just, in my way,
Just.
Penny.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. Penny,
Awesome.
penny.
Well, I thank you so much for sharing
Wow.
all this insightful
Me too.
information today.
Yeah,
It
and
was really, really good.
that was way, how shall I put it, deeper and more spiritual than I imagined
More
this
ethereal.
conversation could be, and it was really really wonderful and kind of, I think, mind-opening, Penny, to
Yeah.
listen to the way you explain that. So thank you so much for sharing that with
Yes,
us. Yeah.
big time. Big
Yeah,
time.
that was a really
Oh my goodness.
I'm
great,
glad you
insightful
guys
one.
have this program. Thank you for the opportunity to share. I have never done this. I was not prepped up, and I wasn't too sure what it was going to be like. But thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Well, it was a great
thank
time.
you. You were great.
And,
Let's hear the
uh,
And she was talking from where? The heart. She was coming from the heart.
Today,
Yes.
not
And,
bullshit on spiritual awakening. That's what we're
Yeah.
gonna have.
Yeah.
And God
We're gonna
bless you
call
all.
you.
Well, thank
bless you
you.
too,
God
babe.
bless you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Ben. All righty.
All right.
Bye, Penny.
Bye, Penny.
Another round of applause. That was something. And
That was.
like I said, unexpected. you know?
Totally
It's
unexpected.
great when we take an unexpected turn, but
Yes.
it's like, oh,
gotta
there
let
was
it
so much.
Oh yeah, when it has to. It's right. It's when it's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Yeah.
Matrix.
Don's talking about the Matrix.
What happened?
What happened to the Matrix, Don? Did you get there?
But it came in and it just hit us like this.
Yes,
When she said she
indeed.
had an out-of-body experience, I went,
Yeah.
exactly.
That was
Zoned right in. Good one, C.
All right.
Did.
No, but it's interesting, Don. What I think, and correct me if I'm wrong.
What?
But when you were doing this thing, I think you're doing bullet time, right? When,
Yes,
when
because
he's
it
like,
went
everything
like
is
this.
slowed down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bullet time. Right.
That's what she did. She hit bullets on us. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Love it.
Wow.
Loved it
Went to
too.
the other side. I was like, ooh.
Got some shivers.
Got some chill.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Some
Yes, I
chilly
did.
chills.
Yes, I did. Yes,
This
I
episode
did.
brought to you by Chili's.
Food again.
Oh,
It is food with this man.
I know, right?
Chili's.
Wow.
Have a sponsor, please. Popeye, can we have a sponsor, please?
Well, just send us stuff and we'll see what we like the best.
Chick-fil-A,
There you go.
Can we have a sponsor, please?
Soon enough, they're coming to East Brunswick.
Chick-fil-A. Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's go talk to the French. They're individually owned, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's go talk.
We went from spirituality to fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.